primary mission of the 157th Air Refueling Wing is refueling airplanes in flight with the KC-135 tanker. The KC-135 is similar to a commercial airliner with modifications for the refueling mission. The New Hampshire National Guard began as a militia nearly a century before our country's war for independence, when early settlers joined together to defend themselves against invasion. These part-time soldiers were New Hampshire residents dedicated to protecting their homes, families, and communities. This was the beginning of a long-standing tradition of military service in the United States, that of the citizen soldier. From New Hampshire's colonial beginnings to the great state we are today, the New Hampshire National Guard has served and protected our state and has been called to duty for every major conflict our country has been involved in. The New Hampshire Air National Guard began in 1947 with the formation of the 133rd Fighter Interceptor Squadron. Based at Grenier Field, which is now the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, New Hampshire's first Air Guardsmen quickly established their reputation as skilled aviators. Little did they know that their unit would transition through 12 different airplanes over the next 60 years. Today, the 133rd Air Refueling Squadron is a component of the 157th Air Refueling Wing, which is based at the Pease Air National Guard Base in Newington, New Hampshire.
The Air National Guard was born out of the end of World War II, same time the United States Air Force was born, and it has had a tradition since its founding of very dedicated citizens in New Hampshire supporting the mission here.
The guy called me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. He says, hey, he says, the North Koreans walked south. And I says, well, where's North Korea? They called us to active duty in the spring of 1951, I guess it was. There were quite a few officers who went to Korea that were pilots and got to fly in Korea. In 1960, we changed from fighters to transports.
Well, when the 157th was participating in Vietnam, they were flying C-124s, which for that era was like the C-5, the biggest cargo hauling jet, even though it wasn't a jet, it was a prop, in the Air Force at the time. And the men and women in the 157th, although they were not forward deployed, they operated from Pease. They were taking trips from the United States all the way to Southeast Asia and back.
When we changed out of the 124s into the C-130s, our overseas dropped.
I was a young pilot at the time, and I thought the C-130 was about as much fun as you could possibly have without being assigned to fighter-type aircraft. We were going in and out of short fields, dropping paratroopers, assault landings.
The 157th moved to Pease Air Force Base in October 1975. We started working with the 509th as far as being the refueling unit moving airplanes across the North Atlantic. And when Pease Air Force Base closed in 1990, we became the prime unit to be in the right place, right location to refuel any kind of fighter airplanes or airlifters going over the North Atlantic or coming back.
Pease did not really close. What happened was it downsized. From an active duty base with a guard unit on it, it's now been transitioned into an international trade port with a guard unit on it. And that guard unit has picked up a lot of the mission that the overall Strategic Air Command had. We were the second unit in the Air National Guard to convert to the KC-135 mission, which would be part of the Strategic Air Command. At the time, the Strategic Air Command was so important to the United States, they did not have any reserve component factors in it. It was a total active duty mission.
Non-stop maximum in-flight range of the KC-135 R model is right around 10,000 miles. That equates to about halfway around the globe.
It proved to be the perfect airplane for the National Guard. Very global in nature, gave the unit opportunities to participate all over the world, And the tanker mission is just incredible because it refuels just about every airplane in the inventory and increases the capacity of those airplanes by multipliers, sometimes of 2 and 3 times.
The tanker is capable of offloading at a rate of 6,000 pounds per minute, which is right around 1,000 gallons of fuel per minute.
Take it 2-2, break away, break away, break away.
The New Hampshire Air National Guard can be tasked to perform a wide variety of missions. Highly experienced crews and well-maintained aircraft allows us to deploy within 72 hours anywhere in the world, including Europe, the Middle East, South America, and the Pacific Rim. At Pease Air National Guard Base, the 157th Air Refueling Wing is supporting the ongoing air bridge. The air bridge, consisting of refueling missions, allows cargo aircraft to fly non-stop to and from Europe and the Middle East. Since September 11th, the air bridge mission has become a 24/7, 365 days a year operation. Additionally, the Pease Northeast Tanker Task Force plans and ensures the worldwide movement of U.S. and NATO military fighter aircraft, which must be accompanied by a refueler when flying over vast ocean distances. The terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001 posed a grave and immediate threat to the security of our nation. But the New Hampshire Air National Guard was one of the first to respond by flying combat air patrol missions over New York City and Washington, D.C.
We're going down there to basically protect the city of New York, or to support that actually in the KC-135. We're going to be refueling some fighter aircraft. We're patrolling 24 hours a day over New York City, and we're going to go down there and stay on station for approximately 4 hours. Refuel those aircraft to give them the capability to defend the city if any rogue aircraft did come into the area. And I think it's a very effective defense over our major cities such as New York and Washington.
The National Guard stands ready every day to respond to emergencies when local and state agencies require assistance. New Hampshire experienced some of its worst flooding in recent years, with members of the National Guard serving side by side with local authorities filling sandbags and guarding hazardous roadways, some in their own hometowns. The National Guard was also called to respond to the devastation following Hurricane Katrina, where they played a key role in restoring safety and stability to the region.
Thank you.
These are prime examples of what it means to be a citizen soldier. Unique from all the other military services, Guardsmen must quickly transition from citizen to soldier, ready to serve either in a state or federal role. As a minimum, traditional Guardsmen train at least 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks a year to maintain proficiency in their military career field. With these challenges also come great rewards.
I'm a mother. I have 2 children. They're almost 13 and 10 right now, so that's all the stuff that anyone that's ever had a mother or is a mother, the cook and the clean and the shop and the driving kids to and from practices, volunteering, all that stuff. And a local training mission, you know on the schedule what time to show up. You usually show up 2.5 to 3 hours prior till takeoff. And everybody comes in and you get all the paperwork done first off, and then we do a briefing. Especially in the National Guard, the briefings are very important because we all come from different walks of life, different jobs. Maybe you were here doing a job and you all need to stay focused on what the mission is today. So we review the whole thing. We usually head out to the airplane about an hour and a half prior, do our pre-flight, and then you start engines about 20 minutes prior to takeoff. Then you take off. Usually we hook up with another airplane, do a refueling, do a little transition, which is touch and goes, pattern work. I'm so fortunate to be in the New Hampshire Guard because you get to do 2 things I love. You serve your country first off, and then the second thing is I get to go fly airplanes. I think if I could do one or the other, it would be great, but I get to do both. So I'm really proud of the fact that I'm part of an organization, a team that's bigger than myself.
My name is Senior Airman Mark McCassin. I'm from Goffstown, New Hampshire. I'm currently an aircraft mechanic on the KC-135. My normal everyday job is a KC-135 E model technician. Brought me into the Air National Guard was the benefits of school, pay for school, also to serve my country, and kind of get myself, you know, on the right path.
I work outside the Guard. I am a respiratory therapist for Wentworth Douglas Hospital in Dover. My typical day can vary greatly. Working for the New Hampshire Air National Guard, it means to me that I can give back. I've gotten so much given to me through the free education, through the opportunity to take trips to places I would never been able to go. Our unit went to Hawaii not too long ago. So there is fun along with the hard work, but it also has shown me that I can do things I never thought I was capable of.
My name is Senior Airman Saul Davidson. I work in the emergency management flight here with the New Hampshire Air National Guard. We're a flight that's responsible for training our base populace in chemical and biological warfare defense, and we also respond to natural disasters and major accidents. Working for the Air National Guard brings me a real sense of pride and a real sense of patriotism. I kind of got the patriotic bug shortly after the events of 9/11, and that really encouraged me to enlist and serve my country.
Many of our citizens are serving today with the New Hampshire National Guard and other armed services in Iraq, Afghanistan, and other troubled spots around the world. I've had the privilege of meeting many of these brave men and women. Let us pray for their safe return to their families, and please join me in thanking them for their courage and their sacrifice.
Citizen soldiers,
building the nation's most respected Air National Guard unit,
serving America,
New Hampshire, and community,
in partnership with family and employer.
Your Guard, your neighbors.